my main focus, my lesson objective, was to teach them how to translate words into algebraic expressions. I've given you the opportunity to look at the problem, and now again we're going to get our bodies in motion, and I'm going to change the groups around just a little bit again. If I can please have Claudia, Yosbel, Danielle, and Ernesto come sit over here, please. Ashley, Hector, Helen, and Chrisnell over here. And Chris, Annabella, Chelsea, and Daniela over here. Okay. Now, I'm going to give each of you a specific job, each of the groups a specific job on this one geometry problem that involves algebraic expressions. Okay, so I would like this group, using problem number 1, to focus on identifying the variables. If you want to take notes, to write that down so you know what your goal is. I want you to identify the variables and give a value for the variable. So identify the variables, give a value for the variables. You're going to work in a second in your cooperative groups solving your task. That's your task, your goal. This group with problem number 1, you're going to focus on putting their variables into an equation. So as soon as you are ready, you're going to send over a representative. In the meantime, you come up with an idea, but you have to go with the variables that they suggest. Okay? But come up with the idea together. And then this group, again, you have a task. Your task is to solve whatever equation they came up with. Okay? But in the meantime, because we still have to wait for the variables to be identified, the equation to be put together, and you guys to solve it, what I'd like you to do is kind of come up with your own strategy and discuss with each other on what strategy you would take. But you're still going to use their equation. Okay? Is anyone confused on what you need to do? Okay? If you can just clarify for me, I want to make sure you understand. Danielle, what is your group doing?
Identifying the variable.
Okay, you're identifying the variables. Let me see, Helen, what is your group doing?
We're using their variable to make an equation.
You make an equation. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
We're using their variable to make an equation.
Okay, and then what is this group, Chelsea, doing?
We're using their equation and solving it.
Okay, excellent. Everybody knows what they're doing. Okay, you've got about 2 minutes. We're going to start with identifying groups, but in the meantime, you guys discuss and see which approach you think would be best. Who has an idea of what to do?
I think it's find the length of one side.
Okay.
And then twice. So
That's where you get stuck. Okay, so Jospel, you did identifying variables before. Tell us what you think we should do. How many sides of the triangle do we have? You have 2 here, shortest length, okay, longest length, and then the other length. That's the third. Okay, so we can write words, you know that. So let's circle words. The length of the longest leg. Why don't we circle longest leg? What's the next one we're going to circle?
twice the length of shortest leg.
How about shortest leg? And what else are we going to circle?
Longer than the shortest.
Okay, so that's still saying longer and shorter. There's got to be something else that we're
The remaining leg is twice.
Okay, so let's circle the remaining leg. Those are your 3 different sides that you need to come up with a variable for. Okay, now let's read. Go ahead and read the first sentence for me, please.
The length of the longest leg of a triangle is twice the length of the shortest leg.
Okay, stop. That's one sentence at a time. We've got to break down a problem when we're identifying one sentence at a time. Read it one more time again.
The length of the longest leg of a triangle is twice the length of the shortest leg.
Okay. How about we call the shortest leg, what do you want to call it? You said you liked L, right? Okay. Let's call the shortest leg L. Put an L on top of the word shortest leg. Good. Okay, Ernesto, you're going to come up with what we're going to put up here to represent the longest leg. And again, read that first sentence for me.
The length of the largest leg of the triangle is twice the length of the shortest leg.
Okay, so we said that the shortest leg was L. How do you represent twice the length of the shortest? LX or LL, L times L? So if I say L times L, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, but like LX or B twice the L.
Okay, so twice. Use a number. Tell me the number you would use to represent twice. Good job. There it is, 2L. Nice job. Okay. Based on previous assessments and the informal assessments I was doing as I walked around the classroom, I noticed that I wanted to group the students into different groups. And at that moment in time, I was able to get one problem, one word problem, and I separated the levels of learners into different groups. I had one group focus on just identifying the variables. And then based on the information they found and identifying the variables, they communicated that with the second group. The second group was responsible for putting the format of the equation together. Once they put that equation together where it would make sense, they would take it to the third group, where the third group was a little more advanced group that they can go ahead and solve the equation and bring it back to the word problem to see if it did make sense. Tell me what equation you came up with. And then, if I can have, please, one representative from this group. How about Daniela? You come show me what you did with the equation that Group 2 provided you with. Oh, no, not solving it, just identifying. Tell me what your group decided to do. Just identify. Okay? Remember?
Okay. The longest leg is 2L.
Okay.
The shortest leg is L.
L. And this one
And
is?
the remaining leg is N plus 2.
Put L plus 2.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right, so go ahead, please, and share it with the class. Write it over here, like you said. Shortest is L.
The shortest is L.
Write it first, and then you can explain it to the class. Okay, go ahead and turn to the class and explain to them what you decided as a group.
Okay. The shortest leg is L.
Okay, this way so the rest of the class can see you.
The longest leg is 2L. And the remaining leg is L plus 2.
Okay, what did you do, Helen, with what the information they gave you?
Well, instead of using L, we used a different variable because L wasn't specific enough. We didn't know whether it was the leg or the length. So we decided to use S for the shortest leg. So what we did was multiply 2S plus S plus 2 plus S equals 26. And that's how we came up with our equation.
And why'd you come up with wanting to add these expressions?
Because altogether, the perimeter would equal 26.
Okay, very nice. And Daniela?
With the equation they gave us, all you had to do was add. So S plus 2S plus S is 4S plus 2 equals 26, which is the perimeter of the triangle. Subtract 2 from both sides and you get 24. 4S equals 24, solve for S, and you get 6. Then you want to find the other sides, 2S. So you substitute S by 6. Then 2 times 6 is 12, and 6 plus 2 is substituting S plus 2, and that gives you 8.
Okay, and what kind of measurement are we talking about in this kind of problem?
Inches.
Inches. Very nice job. Okay, thank you. Sit down, please.